Hi guys, welcome to the second session of Idioms and Phrases series. We had discussed 20 idioms and phrases that have come in the SSC CGL examinations in previous years. So let's continue without discussing any further. Okay. So 21st one, let's see the 21st one. It says going places. See, if you're saying that a person is going places or a child is going places, that means he will be very successful in life. Going places, a person who will be very successful in life. So, basically, it means that he is very talented and successful. See, only by the way of his behavior or the uh, identification of his intelligent behavior we can say whether a person will be successful or not. So if a person is going places, it means that he is very talented and he will be successful, right? See, sometimes I give example from some movies in which these idioms and phrases have been used, right? So going places, if you have seen the movie Taking of Pelham 123, 123. If you have seen this movie Taking of Pelham 123, you will be able to see the use of this idiom, going places. It is used for a child who takes the opportunity to do something when it is the right time. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. In cold blood, see, it means unintentional murder. In cold blood mean unintentional murder. It is without intention. You must have heard this phrase while you see some courtroom drama movies, right? So the culprit is accused of doing a murder in cold blood. That means it was an unintentional murder. It is not an intentional murder. It is not an intentional murder. Not an intentional. Mind it, not. See, it is not an intentional murder. Some of the people might confuse it by intentional murder. If a murder is done in cold blood, that means it is not an intentional murder. It was not meant. The person, the murderer, did not mean to kill the person, but by accident he killed him, right? Because he did not want to, but the situation made it like that. So that's cold blood, murder in cold blood. Okay, off and on. Let's move on to off and on. Off and on. Off and on means occasionally. Just like the word we had seen another idioms and phrases that means fits and starts. I think we have, yeah, by fits and start. See this. By fits and start we discussed irregularly, very similar in meaning, occasionally, but it is not very regularly, but it is occasionally. See, so these two phrases, these two idioms can be used um, interchangeably sometimes, but not always. See, because off and on means occasionally. That means not every time, but occasionally. Sometimes he comes. See, he occasionally comes to my house for dinner, right? If I had a friend in college that is busy nowadays in his office work, then he may occasionally visit me, not very regular. But while he was in college, he might be a very good friend, and with whom I will be spending time very regularly. But now it is just an occasion, only on Diwali or Dashera we meet, something like that, off and on. So let's move on to the next one. The next one says hard and fast. That means strict. It is a very commonly used idiom, right? Hard and fast. There is no hard and fast rule. So hard and fast rule. Basically, this is used for rule. Rule. You means law. Rule means law, and if you are mentioning any hard and fast rule, that means it is a strict rule. If you say that there is no hard and fast rule about any procedures, then you say that there are no strict procedures. Okay, take to heels means run away in fear. Let's move on to the next one, number 25. Look at number 25. It says take to heels, right? Run away in fear. Okay, one clue I'm going to give here, very easy to remember. Most of the idioms that are related to heels, they mean to run away, right? Like we will see in the future videos as well, there are many other idioms and phrases that refer to heels. So almost all of them refer to running away, or running away from the situation, or avoiding the situation. So taking to heels means running away from a situation. As soon as the thief, I'm giving an example, as soon as the thieves saw the police van, they took to heels, right? So taking to heels means running away. Okay, moving on to the next one. It says to keep up, to keep in touch. If my friend has kept up with me even after college days, he means that he is in touch with me, he is in my regular contact, either by email or WhatsApp. Nowadays it is very easy to keep up with someone or keep in touch with someone, right? So keeping in touch also is a phrase, right? Keeping in touch, it is not exactly saying in words, you're not actually in physical contact with that person, but you are in regular communication with that person. You communicate with that person on a regular basis. So that is keeping up, to keep up, right? To keep in touch. Moving on to the next one. Make a clean breast means confess without reserve. Okay, make a clean breast. Okay, I'm giving an example, right? You know a secret, or you did something very mischievous, or you did a crime, and you confessed something. You confessed it before your father or mother, or maybe the police. So what did you do? You cleaned your heart out, right? You cleaned your heart. So here you may say that breast means heart. Sometimes breast means hearts. It's a synonym, right? So making a clean breast means confessing without reserve. There is no reserve. You are not holding back anything. There is no holding back. You're not hiding anything. Not hiding. Reserve here means not hiding. Right? And if you are making a clean breast, that means you are confessing without hiding anything. So you are cleaning your heart out, you are confessing. Sometimes when you go to church, some Catholics might have gone to church. Even I went to church. I'm not a Catholic, but I went to church. I have seen my friends confessing to people, or you might have seen in many movies that people confess their crimes, or confess their guilts or sins, you may say, before the priest. There is a special chamber for that. They are cleaning out their heart, and it is a belief that the God will forgive our sins, right? Okay, next one. Heads will roll, right? Rolling of heads means making transfers, right? So I'll give you an example, right? You might have seen this in papers. Whenever a new minister comes into power, or a new chief minister or home minister comes into power, he makes many transfers in the IAS levels. I'm not wanting to criticize any government or any system, but I'm just giving you an example. It is a common practice that whenever a new chief minister comes or a home minister comes, he makes some transfers in order to bring the situation in control, or bring the situation of panic into control, right? You have seen that. So you might have seen in papers that they gave headlines like heads rolled after the appointment of the new CM, right? Heads rolled means many transfers took place. Heads rolling, right? It's not that you are cutting the heads of people. No, do not confuse with killing people. Do not confuse with killing people. No, it is not killing people, it is transfer. Okay, transferring people. Okay, moving on to the next one. Heads will roll is done. Okay, 29th. Make no bones about. Do not have any hesitation in anything. See, making. Where did we go? Making no bones about anything means you do not have any hesitation in saying something or doing something. See, bone is a very hard thing. If you are eating a non-vegetarian meal, suppose you are eating a boneless chicken, right? Chicken, you are eating a boneless chicken preparation, and suddenly you feel in your mouth that there is a bone. You don't feel good, right? You were expecting the chicken piece to be boneless, but there is a bone, so it's kind of a hindrance in your in your mm, in your enjoyment, right? So bones. Okay, you must have heard about this phrase in Hindi, kebab mein haddi, right? So what is a haddi? Haddi over here, bone. Bone means hindrance kind of thing. So there is a hindrance or hesitation. So similarly in this case also, make no bones about. Make no bones about means you do not have any hesitation in anything, right? To not have any hesitation in anything means making no bones about it. If you are making bones about anything, then you are hesitating in it. If you are making bones about anything, then you are hesitant. If you are making no bones about anything, that means you are not hesitating, you are doing it frankly. There is another good word over here, frank. You know what is frank? Frank. Frank means without any hesitation. There is another very good synonym for it, candid. Candid. I would request you to go search in dictionary or Google or anywhere you want for the word candid, right? And see what is the meaning of it. Candid. I candidly speak, I frankly speak. People say, just try to get the hint of it. You will be able to remember these two words. These are very good words that are used in regular English these days. Okay, moving on to the next one. Take after. See, taking after means resemble. If I take after my father, that means I resemble my father. Taking after. You are following someone, not in their footsteps, but you are following them in their features or characteristics. If I resemble my father in my appearance or activities, then I take after his behavior, his activities, or his appearance, etc. So taking after means resembling, right? It is not only in the case of actions, but also maybe in the case of appearance and anything, right? So taking after, right? So maybe you may have heard about some CEOs in some companies having made some changes in big companies, right? CEOs. So some CEOs that take after their bosses, right? The previous bosses, and some CEOs that do not take after their bosses. I mean to say that whenever they take after their previous bosses, that means that they are following the footsteps or they are resembling the same previous boss. And if they are not taking after, that means they have a different strategy of working. They do not resemble their previous predecessor, I think. Okay, another good word, predecessor. Predecessor. I'm not sure of the spelling. Predecessor. Okay, accessor. Okay, moving on to the next one. To starve off. Postpone. Very good one. Very good one. 31st number. To starve off. If you are starving off a, an event, maybe if you are starving off an event or a meeting, that means you are postponing or delaying. Postponing means delaying. Delaying that event. If you are postponing, suppose if you want to eat, right, if you are hungry and you want to eat, but you are not eating, that means you are trying to starve off some more of that thing, right? So you are keeping the event for a later time, right? You are postponing it, you are delaying it, maybe due to some external work, or you maybe due to laziness you are not doing it at that moment. Maybe there is some other necessity or actions that need to be done. So for that purpose you are starving off the work in hand. So that means that you are postponing or delaying that action, right? Okay, moving on to the next one. To starve off is done. Okay, to give a peace of mind, to reprimand or to punish. If a person, if my father gives me a peace of mind, that means he punishes me, he reprimands me. Reprimand, very good word. Punish, its meaning punish. If I receive reprimandation for something, that means I am being punished for it. If I receive reprimand for something, reprimand is a verb as well as a noun. Punishment as well as punish, both will be doing the same thing. Reprimand is used as a noun as well as a verb. If you use it as a verb, that means you are punishing someone, you are doing the act of punishing someone. And if the reprimand word is used as a noun, that means punishment. Okay, so to give a peace of mind means peace of mind. To peace of mind, if you are punishing someone, you are actually correcting that person, right? So you are giving him peace of mind, you are making his mental state right. So that is giving him peace of mind, that is punishing him, right? If you punish someone, you are actually correcting him or correcting his mistakes or correcting his thought of actions, etc. Okay, moving on to the next one. Rest on laurels, to be complacent. Okay, very unique, you may say, this one. Rest on laurels or to be complacent. Okay, try to remember, we discussed the root word calm over here, correct? Calm means with, right? Calm means with. And pleasant, placent, pleasant comes from the word plaque, which means pleased, right? So plaque. So complacent means with pleasure, correct? So to be complacent means to be happy with what you already have, right? So if you are complacent with anything, if you are complacent with the situation, you are happy with the situation in which you are. So the same thing is going for the word rest on laurels. Rest means rest. It has two meanings. Rest means the remaining or the rest. Rest means left, right? So here rest means to remain. Laurels, what do laurel mean? What is the meaning of laurel? Laurels means awards, or you may say benefits. So basically here, benefits. So basically here, laurels mean whatever facilities we already have. If I am take an example, I am working in a position in my office, right? Other people are striving to get promoted and they are trying to uh, butter their bosses, etc. But I am not in a position to do that. I do not want to butter my boss and things like that. So, and I am not giving any promotion. Ultimately I am not given any promotion. So, but I'm still happy. So in that case, I'm resting on my laurels. I am happy with whatever I have at present. I am not worried about the I'm not worried about the things which are not in my hand. So I'm happy with it. Okay, I think this much explanation is enough. Moving on to the next one, pay through nose. It's a very simple one. It has been used in various movies many times, right? Pay through nose. Pay through nose means forcibly, you may say, I'll make you pay through nose, right? That means it is bought by paying a very high price. Not only it may not only be money, but it may be some other cost also, like loss of property, anything. If I am paying through my nose, that means I am paying a very high price for it. Paying through my nose means I am paying an extremely high price. It is not a comfortable price, not comfortable price, right? So paying through nose, if I'm paying something through my nose, then I am paying very high price of it. It is very extremely uncomfortable price for me, right? Suppose, take an example. It is a very good idiom, a proverb, you may say. A stitch in nine, oh sorry, a stitch in time saves nine. What does it mean, right? If you do a thing in time, then you need not worry about that thing in future. Otherwise, it may cause serious consequences in future. So same condition, if I have a shirt, take the example of a shirt, it has a small hole in it. I get it ruffled or get it sewn, sewn, sewn. That means in future I may not have to worry about it. But if I ignore that small hole, maybe in future there are nine other holes that need to be taken care of. But ultimately what happens, so I have sewn the nine holes, then also the shirt does not look nice. What will I have to do? I'll have to buy a new shirt. So I am paying through my nose. I will have to pay an extremely high price for a thing which I could have avoided, right? Okay, moving on. Draw on fancy, use imagination. Fancy means imagination. Fancy means imagination, right? I fancy you, I imagine you, I want you. You might have heard this word, fancy. I fancy you. Fancy means imaginative or creative, you may say. So draw on fancy means use your imagination. If I'm drawing my fancy for a very high salary, I am imagining that I am getting a very high salary, but in actual conditions I am not, right? I'm just giving an example. My salary is very good and high, so no need to worry about that one, right? So drawing on fancy means using your imagination. It is not actually happening, but you're just using your creativity or imagination. Moving on to the next one, nothing more to discuss on draw on fancy. Okay, turn an honest living. Very simple to answer. There is nothing more to discuss in this. Draw a legitimate living. Very good word, legitimate. One that is legitimate, that is legal. Legitimate comes from the word legal, right? Legal. What is legal? What is legal? That is not illegal, correct? That follows the law. A person who is honest, he does not harm any other person, he does not take the rights of any other person, he is a legitimate person, right? So a person who turn an honest living, he is a legitimate person, right? So he turns out he turns an legitimate living, means he makes an honest living. He is a very honest person, right? Nothing more to discuss in this. Okay, give the game away, give out the secret. Okay, if you are giving the game away, game, what is the secret of your game? Sometimes people ask, some successful people, right? Successful businessmen are often asked this question, what is the secret of your game, right? So here game means secret, or you may say, you may ask the person, what is your game, right? What is your secret of the success? So in that case, and if the person tells the secret of the person of their success, he is giving the game away, he is giving out the secret, he is announcing the secret in the world. It may be harmful for the person, right? It may be harmful for the person, it may be you may say even devastating for the business, because other people, other competitors or other rivals may use the same strategy and uh, cause harm to that person's business, right? Okay, take another example. Maybe it is very familiar to you. You must have heard or seen the movie Drishyam, right? It has been produced and made in various languages like Malayalam, Tamil, and Hindi, right? So you must have heard, you must have seen this movie Drishyam. In this movie, if the protagonist or the lead character of this movie confessed the crime, had the person confessed the crime in the beginning itself, then he might have given the game away, he might have given out the secret, and that would have been the end of the family, right? So he did not give the game away, he did not give out the secret, and the whole family was safe. The police could not accuse them. They did accuse them, but they could not put them into a convicting position. Okay. Cheek by jowl. Number 38. Number 38 says cheek by jowl. Jowl. Jowl means jaw. Very near. If you miss, suppose you are a martial artist. Suppose you are a martial artist and you are in a fight with your opponent, and the opponent draws or pulls a punch on you, right? If a person draws a punch on you and it misses your face just by an inch, maybe it might have, he wanted to hit on your cheek, but uh, the punch missed you just by inches, or you may say it just swept past your jaw, just near your jaw, it just touched and went away. It could not make a good impact. That means you missed, the person missed the punch by just a line, right? Just an inch. So cheek by jowl means missed by very near distance. Suppose I am riding my bike to my office and a truck comes from the opposite side. I did not see the truck, and the truck driver in time applied the brakes, just in time applied the brakes. What might happen? I might hit the truck, or the truck might kill me, right? The second thing, the second condition may be that the truck might miss me, or I may be saved, right? But just by a inch or maybe a very short distance. So I will be saved just by cheek by jowl, right? So there, this proverb will play into role. Cheek by jowl means very near distance. Okay, moving on, we'll do two more because we are making a 2020 group. Okay, two more. Give in means yield. It is a very common proverb used in case of mining mishaps, right? Or construction mishaps. Or you might have heard this Kolkata bridge collapse. So you might have heard in newspapers, or you might have heard in the news readings that the Kolkata bridge gave in. Maybe the roof gave in. An old building's roof gave in. That means it collapsed. It yield, right? Yield means collapse. Here collapse. Yield means, what is the meaning of yield? Yield means to give, right? To give something, to give away, give in, right? but here give in means collapse. collapse, collapse, collapse. Okay, moving on to the uh, 40th one, run riot. RUN space RIOT, riot. Running riot means act without restraint. If a mob ran riot in the Pakistan embassy, previously what happened, there was a situation where the uh, Pakistani forces were trying to infiltrate into Indian forces, Indian territory. So what did the people do? People of India tried to uh, make a protest or show a protest march in the Pakistan embassy. It is a very old story, right? And the situation went out of control. The people started running riot. That means they were out of control and they were acting without restraint, right? Restraint, because acting without any restraint. What is a restraint? Restraint means in control. If you are in restraint, that means you are in control. So running riot means acting without control, right? Running riot means there is no control, acting without restraint. Okay guys, so I'll be uploading this video now, and please do like this video. If you are here till the end of this video, that means you must have liked this video. So what is wrong in hitting a like button? And please do share it with friends, because I want this to go to as many people as you want. And if you're not sharing this, I'm not going to continue, right? If you're not sharing this, if I do not see any more good response on this, please, I assure you that my time is much more valuable. Okay, and I'm sure that your time is also valuable. But if you are spending your time over here, your valuable time over here, that means that you are gaining fruit out of this video lecture. So please do share with other friends and hit a like. And if you're new, please do subscribe. And if I'm investing my time, your time is what I need. All the best. Take care guys. See you in next time. Bye bye.